man is back.
Oh, okay, oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have delivered.
This is your boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash the True Inferno. Back at it with a second straight Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War commentary video. So normally it's Thursday, which means I will bring you guys a Throwback Thursday video. And actually I was supposed to do one last week, but what happened was I didn't feel like doing it, and it was New Year's Eve. So I decided to take that day off, and I ended up taking that entire weekend off from making YouTube videos. Cause I got another channel, True Inferno's Pokemon Go Adventures. Go over to subscribe to that. I took that weekend off from uploading, making, and shooting videos. Today, the reason why I'm not doing a Throwback Tunes video is because of what happened yesterday. So when I released my Call of Duty video yesterday, it was about the NFL playoffs. That was planned, and I had to get it out yesterday because of the fact that the playoffs started this weekend, and I couldn't put that off towards next week. So there was no way. So I got it out yesterday, and then I found out about everything that happened yesterday. I saw everything that happened yesterday, and I got more information today as I'm recording before I record this video. And y'all know what I'm talking about here. Y'all seen the title. Y'all know what's going on. And yeah, there you go. But there's two sides to the story. I'm gonna talk about two major stories that all emerged from what we saw yesterday. And the first one is slightly more important than the other one, and that is this. So there's absolutely positively no way you've been living under the rock and not heard about this. But a bunch of Trump supporters stormed the Capitol. So we talking about, and let me paint the picture here. We all know that there are certain places in this world that are important, that is globally recognized as an important place. You know, important states like New York and California and Texas and Florida. You know, those are important states. Whether we like those states or not, those are important states. Those are popular states. Those are well-known states. And there's other states like that. But, those, when you think of like a really important United state within America, you think of those four. And then you might come up with others, but you definitely think of those four. Important cities. You can look at Los Angeles. You look at New York City. You can look at, I guess, Dallas. You can look at Chicago, and things of that nature. So again, important cities. You can come up with that. Important countries, like in America, like Japan, in places like that. And then, there's certain landmarks that you see, you instantly know what it is. You instantly know how important it is, depending on, which country you live in, wherever the case may be. This is the Capitol. One of the most important places in America. The only thing that I can think of that is more important than the Capitol is the White House itself. So this ain't a Target. This ain't a local shopping mall. This ain't a fast food restaurant. This ain't a retail store of any kind. This is the Capitol. One of the most important places in America. One of the top 3 to 5 places in America. One of the most important 3 to 5 places in America. The Capitol. Not the city capital or the state capital, because there's a bunch of those, obviously. We're talking about the capital of the United States of America. And you mean to tell me, when we had Black Lives Matters protests going on, and some of them led to riots, where people would be breaking into stores, into restaurants, into malls. Shout out to Logan Paul or Jay Paul, one of them Paul brothers. I could care less, whatever. The police would run amok and try and stop them, right? But we're talking about the Capitol of the United States of America. And there was hardly any stoppage. There was hardly any police, quote unquote, police brutality. There was hardly the police doing their jobs in terms of preventing people from storming the Capitol, in terms of arresting people on site, in terms of whipping out the mace and spraying people in the eyes, in terms of tear gas, in terms of beating people down with their police sticks, in terms of shooting people with rubber bullets or real bullets. There was none of that. There was none of that going on outside the state capitol. There was none of that going on inside the state capitol. But yet, when it comes to a Black Lives Matter protest, oh yeah, they would do that. It don't matter who you are. If they see you walking the streets, they would beat you down for that. And this is just plain old regular streets. This, again, is the Capitol. And none of that was going on. And then I seen there was a bunch of footages. People breaking in the Capitol with a riot shield. How you get a riot shield? And then I seen people chasing the cops. And the cops refusing to pull out the gun and shoot. Cops refusing to whip out their police sticks and beat them. One of them was threatening to beat them with it, but he didn't put a trigger. And then when he got back up, they just stood there and be like, yo, calm down. And I'm like, shoot them, do something. And then there was cats inside the Capitol taking selfies with the cops. They stormed the chambers. You know where, I don't know who, I can never tell the difference, like the House of Representatives, Congress, the Secretary, you know, the state, the Senate, state, wherever, whoever the bunch of individuals are, they would go to the chambers to discuss meetings, to hold conferences and stuff like that. Cats were in there chilling. Somebody was in one of the offices, stole mail from somebody of a high government official. Mail belonging to a government official. He stole the mail, took it outside the Capitol, and posting with it on Instagram and Twitter. And the thing that got me most of all, aside from all of that, and the fact that the cops didn't do a damn thing about it, the thing that got me most of all is somebody brought in a Confederate flag in the Capitol. They brought in a Confederate flag inside the Capitol. So witnessing all of this lead me to believe of this, and that I was correct. I was correct all along. I was correct in terms of why I don't give a damn about the government. I was correct in terms of why I don't give a damn about politics. I was correct when it comes down to, you know, these officials and cops and the authorities not giving a damn about black people and minorities. I was correct on all of that, because if I was wrong, yeah, more than 4 people would have died yesterday. Apparently 4 people died. I know about the lady that got shot up and she died. And I heard about 3 others who was in medical condition. Apparently they died, not because they got shot up, but because of the injuries. So 4 people died yesterday, and there was like thousands of people there. And I was correct. Because let's be honest, if this was not Trump supporters and they were all black people, first of all, they wouldn't step foot inside the Capitol. They wouldn't make it inside the Capitol. They would have been shot on sight. The tear gas would have been running amok. We would have seen, you know, attack dogs on sight, the works, all of that stuff. All of that would have been going on. All of that would have happened. And none of that happened outside the Capitol. None of that happened inside the Capitol. And yeah, they said, oh yeah, there was 50 arrests made, but only 50. Out of all the people that stormed the Capitol rather, only 50 people got arrested, and more on the way. And here's my thing: none of them were arrested on sight. More than likely, what they did was, okay, let's watch the surveillance tape. Okay, we're gonna get this guy, we're gonna get that guy, we're gonna get that lady, we're gonna get this person. And I'm like, how about y'all arrest them on sight? That would be a pretty good idea. And another thing that got me was, and shout out to Rich from Review Tech USA. But this was a planned attack. Oh, we're going to get to this point in a minute. This was a planned attack, and yet they were not prepared for it. So, like, Congress or the Senate or the House of Representatives, whoever it was, they were actually going over the electoral votes. They were going to check them to say, okay, it's official. Joe Biden will be our new president. That's what they were doing. They were reviewing the votes and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to come out and say, yep, it's official. He's the next president. Let's get over the inauguration, which is in 2 weeks. And you know, that's what was supposed to happen. They knew that was going to happen. They, as in Trump protesters, and this was planned out. And there was like hardly any security there. So what this proves to me is this: the government, the authorities of all kinds. I don't give a damn. And I'll be honest. I'm the type of guy. that don't like, I do not like the stereotype. I really don't. Cause I'm not the type of guy who say, oh, these 5 dudes are doing it, then every single dude in the world does it too. No, I'm not that type of guy. I hate being put in that type of category because I will call your ass out for that shit. I hate doing that shit. But based on what I seen throughout the year 2020 and really throughout the years period, and based on what I saw yesterday, bruh, you cannot trust the government. You cannot trust any officials of any kind, any authority of any kind, if you're a minority, especially if you're black. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. There's no way in hell you can trust them after the shit that went on yesterday. Or the shit that didn't went on yesterday, which is the most egregious thing. So, I'm you know, and I'm not apologizing for this at all because, like I said, it puts us in a bad spot because now it's like, yo, if they don't give a damn about us, what now? I mean, and I said this back in, what is it, October, November, and I'm gonna say it again, but I'm gonna add more stuff to it. We got 3 options here. We as minorities, we have African Americans, we have black people, we have 3 options for us. One, we could, and you know, this is kind of a work in progress, infiltrate the government, infiltrate law officials, infiltrate the authority, infiltrate corporate America, and change the system from within without being corrupted, without, you know, selling out to them. So that's one option, and I am seeing that as a work in progress. 2, we rate it out because the majority of those who are leading the government, who are leading these authorities, who are leading the officials, they come from the slavery times. They come from the Jim Crow era, and they have those slavery mentalities. They have those Jim Crow mentalities, and we've seen this new generation where they truly believe about equality. It don't matter what your race is, it don't matter what your ethnicity is. This new generation is all about that equality. The majority of them. We've seen it. You know, I know some of them. So we can rate it out and let those individuals take over and create a true equal America from, you know, within. We can do that, or, and I said this once before, and I'm going to say it again, and before I say it, I just want to again reiterate and repeat myself, for those of you who don't know what reiterate means. I want to repeat myself with this disclaimer. I do not support violence. I do not approve of violence. I do not, you know, promote violence or anything like that, nor am I suggesting, yo, we should plan an assault on the president, on the government, on law officials, or anything like that. I'm not plotting anything like that. I'm not planning anything like that. I'm not supporting. I'm not trying to convince people to do it. But the third option is based on what we are seeing and what we're experiencing, and that is this. We have to get them before they get us. And that's potentially where it could lead to. That's potentially where it could lead to. Now, do I want that to happen? No, because there's more of them than there are us. But if it comes down to it, don't be surprised if it goes towards that route. And again, I hope it don't. I'm not leaning that it does. I'm not trying to promote that to happen. But if it comes down to it, because remember, because here's the thing about black people, about African Americans, the majority of them, not the majority of them, but some of them are from the hood, but the majority do have hood tendencies. And one of them is you get them before they get you. That's a hood mentality. And if it comes down to it, you know, we might, I'm not saying we should, I'm not saying that we will, but we might have to exercise that option. Because I don't want to get got. I'll be honest, I don't want to get got. So, long story short, to summarize my first main point about this, what we saw yesterday was a clear sign of favoritism towards white America, towards people who are not minorities, because clearly, if this was African Americans, this was Muslims, if this was any other minority, they would have got shot on sight. They would have never made it to the Capitol building. They wouldn't have touched the walls nor the windows. I'm not even sure they would have made it to the steps. Not that many people. They would have got shot on sight. They would have got arrested. The works. The freaking works. Now, but yet what we saw happen yesterday happened. And it lets you know, as America, we're not in a good place right now. And we won't be in a good place for a long time. And I don't care who you are, because there's some people out there say, oh, America is the best country in the world. No, the hell it is not. No, the hell it is not. It never been like that for at least half a decade, and it's damn sure ain't now. So if you want to say America is the greatest country on earth, you must be smoking crack, because it is not. Now, let's talk about the other main issue that emerged from yesterday. And I wasn't even aware of this because, again, I don't follow politics because I don't like politics. And before I get to that, let me express to you how much I don't like the government and politics and stuff like that. If somebody were to come up to me and say, yo, True, here's what I'm willing to do for you. I'm willing to fly you out to DC, put you in a nice hotel, take care of your travel expenses while in DC, take care of your food expenses while in DC, take care of your tourist expenses, the event expenses, wherever you want to go while you're in DC, and I can put you a flight back home. All of that for free. You won't have to pay a dime. Going to DC while you're in DC, and once you leave DC, you don't have to pay a dime. And somebody offered me that, I would say hell no. And the one reason why I would say that is because the government in DC, I don't trust the government. I don't. So, without the right, here's what I found out this morning. So I found out about there was like 50 arrests that happened yesterday. Yesterday I saw none. Even though I heard like CNN or wherever say, oh yeah, there was some arrests made. I didn't see them. But ESPN First Take, that this was the lead story, obviously, because some NBA players talked about this. And they confirmed that, yeah, there was like 50 arrests yesterday. And even though there was some arrests, but it wasn't like, that's not telling. When there was like over thousands of people storming the Capitol Hill and thousands of people entering Capitol Hill being let in, by the way. Some of them broke in, some of them were let in. And yeah, so there's that. But here's the interesting thing. I did not hear about this till this morning. There was a hour-long speech that was given by Donald Trump, basically complaining about, oh, the election was a fraud, we was robbed, blah, blah, blah. You cannot be weak to accept it. You got to be strong and fight against this, blah, blah, blah. Basically, to summarize it, based on what I heard from First Take, this was a planned, well, like I said, this was a planned protest by Donald Trump. This was planned. And here's the crazy thing about this. Two of his biggest supporters were in the Capitol when the protest happened. That would be the vice president, who he called out. He basically called his own vice president, who is arguably his biggest supporter. He called the vice president a bitch. And the vice president said, yeah, he's right. I am a bitch. That's basically what happened yesterday. I'm dead serious. So you got the vice president was there, and you got a member of the Senate who was a big time supporter of his, was at the Capitol Hill. He didn't care. He said, yo, go protest the Capitol. I don't care if two of my biggest supporters were there. Go protest. You know, go out there storming the Capitol. That's basically what he said. That's basically what he said. That's basically what happened. And I'll be honest, like, it does make you wonder, can we survive these next 2 weeks with him as president? And I know they talk about, oh, impeaching, like, get him out of there and stuff like that. But based on what I heard, that's like an 8-day process. And he got 14 days left. And I'll be like, yo, that's 6 days that we can be like, okay, we can sign relief. But do you really think they're going to impeach him with the mindset of, yo, by the time he get impeached, he'll have 6 days anyway? You know, are they really going to do that? Nah, because that's how the government is. That's how the government is. And and bottom line, you know, and here's the thing about Trump. I never accused Trump of being a racist because, you know, I would say he's only cared about his money, and he only cares about those that have money, which ironically enough does not speak too well for black people, because black people in general does not have money. Not like that. They don't. I'm being real with you. But after what I heard yesterday, And what I heard, what happened a few months ago, because there was a Black Lives Matter protest going on in DC. Trump, and they had national security, they had the authorities ready to go at the Capitol and another place in DC. And Trump said, "Yo, let them in because I have my own security service with me. I have these vicious attack dogs with me. Oh man, they would have come in." And I'm like, this is for a Black Lives Matter protest, and yet he sent people out to storm Capitol Hill yesterday, the Capitol yesterday, and it leads me to believe that I wouldn't necessarily say he hate black people, he's racist toward black people, but I can look at him and say he don't give a damn about black people. I can say that. And he don't give a damn about anybody. He don't give a damn about those protesters. He only cares about himself, his power, and his money. And it showed yesterday. It really showed yesterday. And I can't wait for him to go. I can't wait for him to go. His time is up. His time is up. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.